Flip Your Soil on U.S. Farm Report is brought to you by Smart Nutrition MAP plus MST. From the ground up, see this Smart Nutrition MAP plus MST sculpture come to life. Witness the power of your soil this season.
Ranchers in drought areas of the country have had very little grass production on their rangeland the last few years. But as the moisture starts to return, Michelle Rook shows us how they can flip their soil to achieve higher production.
As the drought starts to break here in cattle country, producers need to reestablish stands and pasturing grassland before they reintroduce cattle. That can be achieved through a targeted nutrient management and weed control program, and that will also yield more pounds of grass per acre. Drought still lingers in more than 14% of the nation's cattle production areas, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor for the week of February 13th. Todd Wilkinson saw it firsthand during his travels the last year as NCBA president.
I've been to parts of the country that are very difficult yet. When I was down in Mississippi, I was amazed at the number of cows that were leaving the countryside. There's no wave your magic wand and fix a drought. It is going to take Mother Nature to do that.
However, last year at this same time, 54% of cattle country was in drought. So pasture and rangeland in many areas has seen a big improvement.
We're seeing a lot more moisture across the U.S. We're seeing more states come out of drought stress. And the biggest thing is getting more pounds of grass on our acres for our units of cattle.
To achieve that, Koenig says it starts with a baseline soil test, and producers can get assistance from their local extension agent or NRCS representative.
They can guide you through where placements, there should be a pattern that they would recommend on where you would take your soil samples, and then they can come back and tell you you need to either put down nitrogen. Typically out west, we don't run as high of rates on our rangeland because we don't want to stress the grass.
She recommends fertilizing pastures in late winter or early spring when those areas have just received moisture or there's precip in the forecast.
Fertilizer is great. We can do it through liquid aerial applications, or we can do dry ground rigs, and we even see some dry go out by air. But it's good because it gives that grass a boost. It gives it a boost coming off of either some moisture in the spring, or if what little bit we do get, we want all that moisture to go to our grass, and we don't want to boost those noxious or invasive weeds. We want that to go to our grass, and the fertilizer helps boost that grass and make it more lush for our cattle.
Koenig couples that with a weed control program to get ahead of weeds when they're small. She says this is especially important for improving range and pasture land after successive years of drought.
We can boost the grass and put fertilizer down, but if we're not also controlling those noxious weeds or invasive weeds that could fill in, and now that we're seeing more moisture across the western U.S., the weeds can sit dormant for a long time in the soil, and when we finally get a moisture event, they're going to bloom and they're going to take off. And so it's crucial for ranchers to be scouting their pastures, and when we know we're going to be getting some moisture coming off this spring, is to combo that and get your herbicide out and get your broadleaf weeds taken care of so the grass can grow.
Koenig says even in range areas that have been barren, perennial weed seeds can reestablish with very little soil moisture recharge.
Key weeds, kochia, took off, and it was kind of like you walked out and all of a sudden it was there, and you didn't realize it. Candidate thistle, a lot of your perennials, they're going to be able to handle and get through the drought stress, and you want to make sure we take care of those.
Areas of high traffic are likely to be the toughest to recover and may have the greatest weed competition.
But it's crucial, if we can, to let those areas rest, and then when we come back again, evaluate if there was a high traffic area. Maybe we need to address the weed spectrum there. Maybe we're going to see a higher weed spectrum in that area because of the traffic and flow of the cattle.
Koenig also recommends monitoring the stand in season to make sure it's recovering and to identify any weed escapes.
It's crucial that ranchers pay attention and scout those fields because we don't want it to be too late when we go in with a herbicide application.
Producers can get more information at Corteva's website at rangeandpasture.com. I'm Michelle Rook for U.S. Farm Report.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, more protests in Europe, plus the ripple effect of tensions in the Red Sea. Ag Around the World is next.